Before the National School Board Association wrote its letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland to request that the DOJ investigate parents for presenting a domestic terrorist threat, North Carolina State School Superintendent Catherine Truitt issued a similar statement, apparently based on a couple of isolated incidents. Truitt accused parents at school board meetings of being violent, of intentionally inspiring fear, and of using hostility and threats of force. The superintendent's memo parroted one that Governor Roy Cooper made just a week prior when he griped about parents protesting mask mandates. Now, North Carolina Attorney General Josh Stien has piled on too. He has first effusively thanked Catherine Truitt for targeting parents, and then he followed up with his own support of the DOJ investigating parents. Now, Superintendent Truitt's statement ends with this: "Our schools and district buildings should remain safe havens, and these acts of aggression cannot be tolerated." Well, if that's true, Truitt, Cooper, and Stien would have made a statement about the increasingly horrific cases of child rape, serious assault, and even murder in public schools. And that is their job to take care of. But they're putting out the narrative that parents involved in their child's education is dangerous. And they want the public to believe it because they're using it as a pretext to shut down opposition to their radical agenda. They also want to get the spotlight off of them because schools are failing and they have no plan to keep children safe and provide them with the education that they deserve. You see, around the same time, Truitt and Cooper were labeling parents threats to school safety. There were 2 school shootings, one of which claimed the life of an innocent child attending Mount Tabor High School here in Winston-Salem. In May, a parent and 7 teenagers burst into a classroom in Greensboro and beat the hell out of a 14-year-old girl while teachers and students watched in horror. It took parents days to learn the truth of what happened at that school in Greensboro. In August, the public began to learn about girls coming forward at Myers Park High School in Charlotte to report that they had been raped and sexually assaulted over a period of years. When they reported the incident to school administrators, they were reportedly shamed and ignored by high school administrators and by the Charlotte-Mecklenburg police. The principal was suspended without pay before he eventually resigned. Recently in Onslow, a male student pushed a female student down a flight of stairs, causing serious bodily harm to the girl. Parents reportedly struggled to get information about what happened to their daughter from school officials after this tragedy. Back in September, an Olympic high school student was charged with second-degree rape, kidnapping, and sexual battery of a female student. The suspect was allowed to play in a football game while he wore an ankle monitor. Talk about a slap in the face to the victim. Then on October 1st, when female student athletes at Olympic High School protested in solidarity with this rape victim, they were suspended from school. Then we found out that yet another football player from Olympic had committed a felony while off campus, but he was also allowed to play in football games, directly contraindicating school policy. And is this justice? Absolutely not. Just last week, a High Point 8th grader was beaten so badly by another student that he was hospitalized for 2 days. That boy said that several students who beat him, they beat him because they wanted revenge for something his cousin was accused of doing. These schools are not safe. They're not safe havens for students at all. They are full of hostility. They're full of violence. They're full of inspiring fear, intimidation, and, acts of aggression. And these are real victims I've just told you about, and they're now dealing with traumatic consequences for the rest of their lives. These officials, they can't blame a lack of equity or white supremacy for their own shortcomings because the victims of these crimes, they're Black, they're white, they're Hispanic, they're boys, they're girls, and what unites all of these children is that they're victims of a dangerously unsafe public education system led by unserious, out-of-touch demagogues who target parents who are engaging in protected speech instead of solving the serious problems affecting the lives of families all across this state. Last year, each of the 3 officials I just talked about, they were voted in by promising us that they were going to make life better, safer, more prosperous going forward. But this is what we're dealing with from them. So I want to issue this challenge to all of you now. Whether you're Democrat, Independent, Republican, don't vote or never voted, call your North Carolina representative or senator today. Ask them if they stand on the side of the governor, the superintendent, and of the attorney general, Or do they stand on the side of families and children who deserve a quality education free from violence, hostility, fear, and aggression? Let's get every lawmaker and candidate on the record now, because all of our families deserve better than these do-nothing politicians are providing for us now. Thank you.